trying to see if we got some audio coming in, because I want you guys to have the best thing we got coming. So give me 1 second. 1 second. But you get to look at me. If you can hear me, that's fantastic. But there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about on the show. I'm not going to give it away just yet, just in case you can't hear it. And there's Sanders right there in front of the camera. Oh, yeah, we might need to hook up that sound.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I think we have sound, folks. We may have sound. I hope you can hear us. Raise your hand if you can hear us. There we go. Joey can hear us. Nice. We have Joey in the waiting room here. Cincy Joe, diehard Cincinnati Bengals fan. He's a great guy. A little misguided with his team, but great guy. He'll be coming on pretty soon in the show. We just got to take care of a little business here. Like I said, lost to the Cleveland Browns last week in a trap game. Everybody knew it was going to happen. I just don't understand. And then going into Cincy after that loss, what can we expect? We couldn't expect pretty much anything but another loss, not having that offense. But then we turned it around Cincinnati. But, folks, I think we got it. I think we got it. But, folks, here we go. So, salute to service, right? I'm wearing some of the memorabilia. I'm pretty sure you're seeing it all over the NFL. The NFL, once again, has got their act together at least twice. With a cure to catch and, cancers and, breast cancer, prostate cancer, and, crucial catch campaign to raise money for American Cancer Society. Well, also the NFL has got this salute to service. And what salute to service is it represents the NFL's unwavering dedication to honoring, empowering, and connecting with our nation's service members, families, and veterans. It is grounded in deep partnership with the Bob Woodruff Foundation, the Pat Tillman Foundation, Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, United Service Organizations, which is the USO, and Wounded Warrior Project. Now, Sanders and folks at home, since 2011, when this was implemented in the NFL to salute to service, the NFL has raised over $73 million for these salute to service partners and charities or whatnot. So if you're just buying this, the gear, the memorabilia, it's for a great cause, man. You're doing a wonderful, wonderful thing. Not as you can compare it to, the Crucial Catch campaign, but when you're raising money for veterans and empowering and connecting with family service members, it goes a long way. Like the Pat Tillman Foundation, the USO, the Wounded Warrior Project. If you don't know what these projects are, folks, write it down, check them up, Google it, look it up, and find out what these projects are about. And it's about you. It's about, I'm a veteran. I served. San Fran Steve, we talked about him, airborne, and he served, and hopefully he'll be coming on the show later. I already spoke to him. He's not too happy, of course. I mean, his team it's like a MASH unit, right? The 49ers are pretty much done for the year. We'll talk about that later. And so Sanders, let's talk really quick about the Browns game. We got to talk about that briefly.
Right.
You look at the score. We lost 19-24. You look at the stats. Okay, you look at the stats. Total yards for the Steelers, 368. I mean, only had 6 penalties the game, 1 turnover. And Wilson threw for, an average 270 yards. He had 1 touchdown, 21 for 28. But, I mean, we ended up losing this game. The Browns, not that great, but they did enough to win.
Yeah, and that was the thing. The Browns did enough to win. And you know what? The Steelers played down to their level. We were always talking about the Steelers playing down to people's level, playing down to other people's level. And what do? They did exactly what we're talking about, James. They dropped themselves, a team that could have been, I thought they wanted the time to be elite.
Yeah.
But you know what? They showed everybody that they needed work to be done. And of course, we had to go into the Thanksgiving weekend or the week or whatever. After that loss, it was humiliating. You go down in Cleveland. Everybody in Cleveland was looking for us to blow them out. We choked. Call it what it is. We choked, and it came back to bite us. So that's what happened. I mean, that's all it is.
I mean, they really didn't do that much to win the game, but they did enough to win the game.
Like I said, statistically, you look at that and you would think the Pittsburgh Steelers won that game. And, our hats go off to Myles Garrett. He did have 3 sacks that game, and he did put a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson. He did disrupt the offense. And we just need to, continue going on the offensive streak that we did against the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll talk about that soon, very soon. But there's also a couple of things we need to get out of the way right now, a little housekeeping with George Pickens. All right.
Oh, God.
George Pickens. A lot of issues with George Pickens. The guy can play football. And they're all the haters are saying this is a Tomlin issue. Tomlin's not really doing anything in the locker room. And you know what? It's really not Tomlin's job, I think. We have offensive coordinators. We have wide receiver coaches. We have mentors. We have therapists that can talk to these people. And I actually blame Omar Khan. I mean, he's not perfect. The Steelers GM, he did a great draft when he picked up Pickens. But however, the people who scouted Pickens, he just didn't start doing this, Sanders. No. This behavior with fighting and doing all this extracurricular activity, he did this all throughout Georgia. So red flags are everywhere. Yeah, the guy's incredible. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the hands. But do you want the luggage that came with it? And I think they rolled the dice. And right now, it's because we had Antonio Brown, Plaxico Burress, Manuel Sanders. The list goes on and on of the wide receivers who were awesome, but they also had a little mental issue.
Yeah. And he's proven it as well that he's got some problems going on as well. He's had ample enough time. And I mean, he's found ways to choke. That's all to it, James. He's found ways to choke and, not getting 2 feet down, which is unacceptable to me. Being an NFL lover, a guy that can't get 2 feet down when he's got ample enough time to do it, ample enough space to do it, and he hasn't done it, and he's done it in a lot of different ways. That's one thing that irked me about him. And the other thing as well is the fact that, dude, stop letting other people get you off your game. That's the problem with Pickens that I can see right now. He's letting these guys get him off his game, talking trash to him, so he gets out of his game. And what does he do? He goes out there and he starts getting hot. He makes one play, and then he'll go out there and, I'm all world. And don't get me wrong, you're a talented receiver, but you're a receiver that's got some problems upstairs, brother. I mean, when I say problems, I mean, James, it's to the fact that I think, like I said, I'm serious. Bring Antonio Brown in-house. Let Antonio Brown say, look, man, you know what? I blew it all. To be honest, I blew it all. You're on the same path right now. You're going to blow it all. You got talent. I had talent. Stay with it, bro. You're gonna get it done, and he can get it done in Pittsburgh. They got an older quarterback that they're using right now, and when Russell Wilson. But the fact is, things will get better for the Steelers as the years go along, and this guy will be a young integral part of it. James, he just has to stay awake.
Yeah, I think when you have Broderick Jones, who's a problem himself, is trying to calm him down and talk to him, which is a good thing. You want people to get your attention and talk to you about this. But I mean, that's for the coaches, and he really needs to decide what he wants in his future. Does he want a possible Super Bowl ring with the Pittsburgh Steelers, or does he want to continue these antics? And he needs to look back at all the other wide receivers that didn't make it in Pittsburgh and who could have made it in Pittsburgh. And then after the fact, they want to come back to Pittsburgh. And I can't believe that some of these so-called journalists are even questioning Mike Tomlin as far as Le'Veon Bell coming back, Antonio Brown coming back. They had their chance. They screwed up. They lost their chance. And
yeah, you move forward.
There's too many bridges that were burned by those players. So, are they still great top of the road athletes? Probably, but you won't see them in Pittsburgh anymore.
Yeah. But you know what, guys, like you said, this weekend, Steelers stepped up. They had a huge game this weekend playing the Cincinnati Bengals. And you know what? I wanted to get my boy in there, Cincy Joe. We want to get him in here. Only reason I say that is because Cincy Joe, he's been down there waiting. So I'm about to bring him in here. And like I said, he's going to be, let me see if I can get him in there. There he goes.
Look at that.
There goes Joe wearing his old Cincinnati. Look at that.
Houday.
Houday.
That's right.
Houday. What is that? Boomer Esiason? You got the Boomer
Esiason.
Is that autograph?
Not this, but I have another. I have a jacket that my son has that's autographed.
Well, that's awesome. Boomer is a great guy. He's a great, always was a great football player, always an honest, great teammate. And he's a great commentator. I mean, he did great for Cincinnati, a lot better than Kenny Anderson, but we're dating ourselves with that. But the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals have a history. Why do they have a history? Division rivals. Okay. In the last 30 games, the Pittsburgh Steelers, you could basically say we own the Bengals, 23-7 record. You really can't get any better than that. And Joe, I mean, it's got to be really, really upsetting, really, to you and the Bengals fans when you have a team that puts up almost 40 points a game and still loses. And let me give you some stats on that. The Cincinnati Bengals, folks at home, if you're keeping score, 2 games with 38 points and they lost. 3 games with 34 points lost. 4 games with 33 points lost. And 6 games with 25 points or more lost. What do you think is do they just give up on the defense and put everything on the offense?
Here's another crazy stat. In the 8 losses they have now, Joe Burrow has 18 touchdown passes in the final 3 minutes. That's insane. This guy's year right now is being wasted. It's the defense. There's no doubt about it. There's no explanation. This secondary and this linebacking core, they can't stop anybody on 3rd and long, 4th and short, and that's been the root cause for our downfall this year. It's very frustrating, seriously.
So as a Cincinnati Bengal fan right now, there's definitely some frustration in the locker room. Jamar Chase, he doesn't want to come back next year. I mean, T. Higgins. What do you tell these guys who like really put it out there? Brown, your running back, he's amazing. He's doing a great job, stepping up. And when you lost Joe Mixon, I mean, what do you tell these guys in the locker room to keep them around and keep them positive for next year?
Right now, the number one denominator for that answer is Joe Burrow. There's a Cincinnati podcast that I listen to a couple days a week. And even though Jamar Chase shows his frustration, you see it on Joe Burrow's face. You see it on T. Higgins' face. These guys are playing their asses off. They're scoring. They're taking leads. But Joe Burrow has come on the podcast, and he has stated that these guys are actually still committed this year and next year. They're frustrated. They're going to probably be more frustrated as the year goes on because I'm sure there's going to be 1 or 2 more games where they're going to have it in the bag at some point, putting up 30, 40 points. And I'm telling you, they're going to come close to 50 this week on Dallas. You can bet on that one. But Joe Burrow's actually keeping this team together. He really is. Jamar Chase, yeah, he's frustrated, but he's going to be back next year, and hopefully they do some drafting. They pick up a couple. We need a TJ Watt type of player to offset. We do have the number 1 sack leader in the league, but one guy on defense, as you guys have seen, we got a poor group of linebackers and safeties that for some reason just can't cover slot receivers. I can't. They're supposed to have a number 1 defensive coordinator, but they haven't been the same since the Super Bowl loss. Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like I said, hey guys, when I invited Joe join the show, Joe came on, no equivocal. He just came straight out and said, "Yeah, I'm in." And the thing about it is, like I said, it's hard when a team loses. But the fact is, like I said, a real fan talks football. He talks about what the problems is with his team and how to rebuild that. Just like, we Pittsburgh won the game, but there are a lot of guys out there saying, you know what, you guys won the game, but you guys could have we could have lost that game because you guys, like I said, you guys have an offense that can cause a lot of teams problems. Now, Pittsburgh's got to play you guys again, which scares the bejeebies out of me because, they got nothing to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that game might not be too essential to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hopefully by then we will have won a division. It's going to be the last game of the season, not really too much to play for. And you might not see a lot of the starters in that game. That's what, on a positive note. And if you're looking in the right direction with the Pittsburgh Steelers now after that, dominating offensive win against you in the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, when you play a team like the Browns and you only put up like 19 points, or you look backtrack another game with the Ravens when you scored no touchdowns. Now in that game when you played the Ravens, how many touchdowns did Joe Burrow have, and how many? And you guys, what was that? 4?
5.
5 touchdown passes. He had 5 touchdown passes and still lost.
Yep.
We had 6 field goals in 1.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, something's got to change here, right?
So
So
defense, I believe their defense coordinator at the end of this year, because that's what Jamar Chase and these guys are looking to see after one more year. If they don't get a defensive coordinator and a defense to help offset the work that the offense is doing, then you're going to see guys wanting to get out of there. But right now, Jamar Chase, the bond that him and Joe Burrow have from LSU to here, it's a really tight bond. Even T. Higgins might actually come back next year from what I'm hearing, but they're going to have to get a defensive coordinator and do something with this upcoming draft, because if it doesn't get fixed next year, that window, that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase window is going to start to close.
Yeah,
talent level.
I agree. I agree totally. I mean,
it's going to start to close.
Yeah, because they do have a team that can cause problems. Like if you guys fix, and you might not need the whole total rehaul of the defense. You might just need, you got some pieces like you just said. You need it. You need like a TJ Watt type player. You need somebody in that secondary that can cover. And to me, get rid of somebody, the older players. He was a great player, and I thought he's still not horrible, but Hilton, to me, he's seen better days.
Yeah. James, ask me how I became a Bengals fan.
You know what, Joe?
You'll appreciate this. You'll appreciate this.
Cincy Joe, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Hey, how did you become a Cincy fan?
1978. I grew up in Florida. I was a Dolphin fan my entire life.
What?
I was down in Florida, 1978, Super Bowl 13, Steelers Cowboys in the Orange Bowl. I'm a 13-year-old kid on the beach. I see this big guy with his foot searching for something in the sand. I go over there. Hey, buddy, what are you looking for? Now, this guy was deaf. He explained to me, he wrote it down. He was looking for his rental car key that he lost. He was there for the Super Bowl. About 20 minutes, I found his rental car key. He couldn't have been more happier. He got a piece of paper. He told me to write my name and address down, where I was from. It ended up being Reggie Williams, linebacker, Cincinnati Bengals, number 57. You can look him up.
Wow.
He told me, he wrote it down on a piece of paper. He told me he was appreciative for what I did. I saved him a lot of money. He was there for the Super Bowl. He's going to send me a gift package. About 9 months later, right about August, September, I come home from school. I got a big brown box on my porch. I open it up, and it was nothing but Cincinnati Bengal paraphernalia. Hats, jerseys, a clock, a helmet, a signed autograph, pencils, everything. This guy held up on his word, sent me a personal letter, sent me a team picture, an autographed single picture. And since 1978, I've been a diehard Bengals fan.
Wow,
and that was the Steelers. That was the Steelers Cowboys Super Bowl in which Pittsburgh won 35-31.
Just think about that.
Yeah.
You had this box with everything in it.
Yep.
You could have burnt it all right there.
Yeah. I got a lot of that stuff. I got it in my son's basement. A lot of that stuff I still have. Yep.
Oh.
True story.
One shot.
I lost you.
That's beautiful. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's what memorabilia, being a fan. And one thing about Steel Nation Live, we joke, we banter against guys with other teams, other fans, but it's all in fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we appreciate, we love true fans out there. That's
Yep,
why we
true story.
have you on the show, San Fran, and Steve, Cowboy Kenny. I mean, we have more fans from other teams calling the show than we do Steeler fans.
Yeah,
We do
it's
have
true.
a lot of Steeler
It's
fans
funny.
commenting.
Yeah.
But we appreciate the phone call. We appreciate you taking time to come on the show with your stuff, your Cincinnati stuff. But it's
50 points this week.
It's all
50 points.
It's all about the fun of the game. And that's one thing that we cannot instill in our younger.
No, you're right.
Bills fans. And I mean, and there's a lot of talk.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of talk on social media about it. You know what? The parents, how come they didn't get a police report, and how come they didn't do this? How come they didn't? You don't know unless you're in a situation. Now, I experienced that kind of stuff years ago. People were throwing batteries at me and other Steeler fans, batteries.
Wow.
And when I brought this to the attention of security and police, they told me, they said, well, what do you expect? Look what you're wearing. Okay. And I said, I expect you to do your job and whatever. And you got fans drinking at 8:00 in the morning for an 8:00 game at night. What do you think is going to happen? Right. And I'm not saying all Bills fans. All right. So I don't want to be labeled that, but, and that's fans with every NFL team, but I'm sure there's some Steeler fans act like that too, because there's idiots everywhere. There's idiots. You throw alcohol in at a sporting event like that, but it just goes to show that we need to reestablish what being a fan is all about. It's, yeah, you want to win, but you can't win every game. And just because somebody has a different jersey on, you shouldn't, if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all, right? I mean, I've been to many, many, many Steeler games at Acrisure Stadium, Heinz Field, and I've sat with Browns fans. I sat with Ravens fans. I sat with Bengals fans. We shared beers, stories. There's banter, laugh, having a good time. That's what it's about. But when you can't go to a stadium because you're worried about being attacked or spit on or have stuff thrown at you, something needs to be done with that. And we need to reestablish what it is like bringing your family to a sporting event. It's very expensive, so people are hesitant. I get it. But you don't want to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to go to a sporting event to see your team and get accosted, assaulted. It's just not worth it, Joe.
No.
Hey,
Same
Joe,
spot is at home.
give me a score on your game versus the Dallas Cowboys.
I think he said something like 50 points.
Well, he said he's gonna hang 50, but I want to score
50-39.
You think Cowboys will score 39 points?
They're gonna put up 30 on us.
Oh, 30? Oh, okay, because your defense is
We
not
can't stop.
existent.
They're gonna put up
Gotcha.
CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, fantasy stats this week. It'll be 50 to 30 something.
It's gonna be like Oprah Winfrey's gonna be the referee. You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown.
They're actually doing the game in Simpsons cartoon. If you remember last year's game, the cartoon game.
Oh,
Remember the game they did with the Ravens where they did it Toy Story style?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see a real football game.
This year, it's, if you want to watch it, and it's Simpsons. They're going to be as Simpsons players, but it's going to be exactly a live stream of what's happening in the game.
That's funny.
Yeah, so you can watch it. Yeah, you can watch. I think it's on Netflix. The other game's on Netflix or something like that, but you can watch it in cartoon style. It's going to be actually pretty cool.
Well, can you watch in regular style?
Regular style.
That's the score.
50-39.
50-39.
All
right.
I don't know. Joe's pretty smart guy.
Hey, you give me a score in that game before Joe heads out.
Oh, I'd say it's going to be at least 38-17 Bengals.
Yeah, I agree.
I think something's going to happen in your defense. And I think something's going to break, and something's going to be pretty good with your defense. I think you're going to shut the Cowboys down pretty much.
The good thing is they'll give up less than 40.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it won't be much.
I think they won't get over 20. I'll tell you that right now. So I know Cincy is going to score at least 38, minimal 38 points.
I'm in agreement with that. I'm gonna say the same thing. You guys are gonna blow them out, and I'm looking at like you said I'm looking like a 34 to 10 type score, because I believe your defense will rebound and shut them out, because the Cowboys been living high, brother. They've been living high off of 2 wins. The defense.
Yeah.
And they didn't deserve it. They should have never beat Washington. They had to go. They had a miracle to beat Washington.
Oh my God. That was ridiculous.
So it is what it is. Hey, like we said, you know what? This is what football is all about. Hey, Steeler Nation, thanks to my boy Cincinnati Joe stopping by Steeler Nation in the jungle wearing whatever that taco looking jersey.
Wait, I got it. Joe, give us a Steeler Brown score.
Oh, easy now, Joe.
Come on.
Oh, this week it'll be 24-12. 24-12.
Who's
Pittsburgh.
winning?
Oh, Pittsburgh.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have him back on the show again.
24-12.
We won't have to block this guy.
And then next game you play with us, you won't be resting your players because you'll be fighting for a first-round home field game. So you're going to have
No, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's got a soft schedule the remaining of the season. We got one of the toughest. We got the Browns. And then we go to Philly. We go to Baltimore. And then we have Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day.
Yep.
And then we have you sometime in January or February.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good for Pittsburgh. We might have to actually play you guys tough the last game of the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to happen.
We'll see.
All right. That's my boy, Cincinnati Joe. Hey, Joe, thanks again for stopping by, brother. We're going to get you on for the next game versus the Bengals, brother.
You got it,
All
bro.
right. And put that jersey away.
Peace.
Put the jersey away.
Never.
Wow. All right. Cincy Joe.
Yeah, the Cincinnati Joe doing his thing, man. Like I said, and it's beautiful. Like, and I agree with you totally. Like when you can get together on a show and talk what we doing. We're talking football. We're talking Steeler Nation football. We're talking the Steelers just played the Bengals. They had to be rough for Joe. Joe, they lost. He was on the bad end of a losing game. But you know what? He loves football. He knows they got problems. We've had problems. So you talk about it. You try to get it straight. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they got a huge task against them. I don't care what it is. It's a divisional game. They're playing the Cleveland Browns. They got it upcoming this week. And James, I don't know about you. The Cleveland Browns have they got what you call it, a player that's trying to make a comeback at the quarterback position, and not just make a comeback. He's doing a decent job.
Yeah, so, I mean Winston. I mean he looked spectacular last night, and then he looked like garbage.
Yeah,
I mean I don't know what he was thinking. Like how many? He had 3 pick sixes last night, and I know the Broncos are up and coming. I mean, we played them. We beat them earlier in the season, which is a good time to get them. Bo Nix was just, trying to get his stuff together, and he's finally coming around with the offensive scheme of the Denver Broncos, and he's getting used to, playing and getting with the players. Phenomenal job. He's doing a great job. The Broncos are doing a great job. However, with that being said, I mean, it was like Winston was trying to give the game away. I mean, where was he throwing those footballs? I mean, it just, when you get so precise and accurate and scoring touchdowns, you would think that he would not be. I think he threw 177 yards, I think, for the Broncos and interception yards. Yeah. I think it was 177 yards, 3 pick sixes. I've never heard of that before. And I mean, it was a high scoring game. It was almost like us and Cincy, but at the end of the day, when you throw 3 pick sixes, holy cow. I mean, you're not going to win many football games too. And they had it, close to the end, almost down to the wire. They had the Broncos on their heels, and they came up empty. And I don't think you're going to see that next week when the Pittsburgh Steelers play the Browns. I think you're going to see a different team, but then, Sanders, and it's inevitable. We play down to these players, these teams, right? Yep. That we should beat.
Yep.
The next game we recoup and we're like, holy shit, holy crap. Where did this team come from? You know what I mean? And then the following week we go right back to where we started. And I hope there's a cycle that has been broken. And I hope the Pittsburgh Steelers use that game as tackling fuel. and they win another football game against the Browns. Okay,
that's all you can do is hope, brother. That's all you can do.
Yeah, 5-2-0.
But
that's right.
But let me say this: I can see them doing it, and I believe that Pittsburgh they're on another. When I say another level right now, what I seen Sunday from our quarterback, James, a quarterback that is what going towards 40. And Sunday, granted, like he said, we were playing the Bengals, a team that it's pretty bad. I call it what it is. They're pretty bad at the moment, defensively, offensively, the juggernauts.
I think he's 36.
Yeah, but it's going towards 40.
Yeah, he's trending.
Right, he's trending. But the thing about it is that this guy, he hit 10 different receivers. 10.
I didn't know we had 10 different receivers.
Kenny Pickett couldn't hit 3 of them in a game. 3. 10 different receivers. And the guy moved the ball. He audibled. He did everything that you're supposed to do. They gave him short yardage. He took the short yardage. James and I have been talking about this for years. If you need 10 yards and this is little kid stuff. You need 10 yards. Now listen, you need 10 yards and you tell your son, hey, go out 5 yards. I get 4 tries. Go out 5 yards and turn around. That's 5, right? When we move the ball up. Now you got 5 more.
2nd and 5.
Now check it out. Hey, go out and do 5 more yards. He goes out and he does 5 more yards. You know what that is? It's a damn first down.
First down.
What the hell?
First down.
All these years of watching football, and it took this long for somebody to actually get it right in Pittsburgh. Even Ben Roethlisberger from time to time would, try to jack the ball down the field and get the long touchdown and overthrow a receiver. Now you got a guy who's playing within the means of the game, and not just that. He's incorporating everybody in the game. Najee even looked like he was born again in that game. He had to run, and especially with those 5-yard dumps, people don't realize those opened up and made what do we talk about, James? It made the linebackers drop back, and when the linebackers drop back, everything else starts to open up, and that's what happened in Pittsburgh. And I think if they keep to the same level when they play the Browns this Sunday at 1 p.m. in Acrisure Stadium, I think they're going to do it.
But here's the thing, Sanders. Here's the thing. There's nothing crazy about that offensive scheme. I mean, you design plays. You just send somebody in the flat, a running back or a tight end out to the flat, or you do, like you said, 5 yards and turn and just let the quarterback know that you're open and you get. I'd rather get 4 yards than try to run up the middle and get 1 or less than 1. You know what I mean? If you're going to throw the ball, open it up. Like you said, dump them linebackers back. Open up the middle. That middle there's no secret.
Right.
That middle's been open up every game for years. And we've talked about this till we're blue in the face. We've talked about this. Just dump it off. And Roethlisberger was huge with that, with Heath Miller. How do you think Heath Miller got all those catches and all those yards? Just like Gronk. That's the exact offense that the New England Patriots would run on their teams. You didn't have to beat them long, and occasionally you throw the deep ball. But when you have, top-notch tight ends who don't have to go too far, and even Freiermuth had a couple long touchdowns too, just down the slot, down the middle, that will open up. And once you establish that, then you can start handing the ball off, because now if you get through the line, now you're going to get 7-8 yards a carry.
Yep.
And then when the linebackers come back in, then you do the pass plays. I mean, it's not rocket science at all.
I just don't get it. In all the years I'm playing football, watching football, and you finally got a guy that actually is, or they're finally doing it the way you should do it. Look at all the teams that have been dominant out there. You get Brady, they're tight end Gronk. Those are the teams that's successful. Then you got let's even go to what you call it, Kelsey and the KC. Right. I'm telling you, that short yardage game is being overlooked too much in today's NFL, and not just in today's NFL. I got a quick question I want to ask everybody out there. Let me know what your thought process is in today's NFL with the defenses out there. Who came up with this coverage defense where a guy just all he has to do is just run not even a route. You could just run and turn around and you're open.
Oh yeah, when you play that prevent defense, it's just, if you're gonna do prevent defense, at least do a cover 2. At least do a cover 2. If not, we can't get the reason why we almost lost that game to Cincinnati. We went back to our old standards. Okay, our old standards were not playing to win, playing not to lose, and that's how you lose games. Yep. Kicking field goals, you're gonna probably lose a game if you just want to kick field goals. If you're in the red zone and that's all you come out with, we'll get some points, whatever. No, you have to get 7. You have to score a touchdown. And our special teams has been phenomenal all year. Knock on wood. And Boswell had a field goal blocked against Cincinnati, so he's got 2 missed field goals this year. And when you look at special teams, and a lot of people, you know how I'm big at special teams, Sanders. You know, me being a kicker, Jeff Reed, who is one of the greatest football kickers in NFL history with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Super Bowl champion. When you have a passion for that, for the special teams, you kind of talk about them a lot. But special teams wins games. Doesn't actually win you championships, but it gets you there. And now, in a perfect example with Justin Tucker, the most prolific, accurate field goal kicker in NFL history. He's got a kicking percentage of less than 75, Sanders. In the game that they just lost, he missed 3 field goals. And that's what? For you mathematicians out there, my math's not so good, but I believe it's 9 points. And they lost by 5 points. People don't understand special teams is what can win you ball games, and it can lose you ball games. And talking about the kicking game, the punters, if your punter can't kick you out of, or kick them out of good field range, I mean, it just happens. And it's unfortunate that people overlook the special teams. Danny Smith has been with the Pittsburgh Steelers special teams coach for forever. Yeah. And finally he's got a kicker who can make field goals. And we're talking over 50 yards. Yeah. A pop. And you're talking about a punter who's averaging 58 yards a kick. Yeah. And when you set their team deep in their own territory, it takes them a long time to come down the field. And if they do 3 and out, then they have to punt. Right. And then we get good field position. And it's
simple math, brother.
It all works out. It all works out.
Simple math. And like we said, and that's a lot of the angst of what we see, what goes on in the NFL, and some of the things that should be, to me, like, you know, should be simple. And they overthink it. And the NFL, there are a lot of things that go into what the NFL does, especially like we said, you know, whenever a game is getting late, we all know it. You know when the NFL script is getting ready to come. You can feel it. Yeah. You can feel it. You're down. You're up by 14. It's like 4 minutes left. Oh my God, they scored a touchdown. James, guess what? It's you've been killing them all game. Now you can't even complete 2-yard passes.
Let's run the ball. Let's run the ball. It's just unbelievable. And what I want to talk about, there's a couple of things in the NFL that we need to talk about. Time's coming down, but the Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders. We have to talk about this game. Okay. Now it's getting so obvious that I don't think the NFL even cares about this. And if you look at the Chiefs record, you look at Mahomes' stats, he's about average quarterback stats. Kelsey, I mean, as far as fantasy points, that the Boswell's got more fantasy points than Kelsey. And why are they 11-1 or 10-1? What they are? Well, let's go back to the last game against the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders on Black Friday. Okay, Raiders. If you're not familiar with this game, let me set up the scenario for you. They got the ball at the 35-yard line of the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're looking to get a game-winning field goal. So they run a play, right? Referee blows a whistle, throws a flag, does this false start, right? He runs from the sideline. It's all on video. It's all on video. You can't miss this, all right? They have it all on video. He run from the sideline. He's doing the false start, okay? Now, during this play, the referee let the play continue, even though the referee was running on the sideline. Raiders fumble the ball. Chiefs get it, okay? So now they're like, holy crap, what do we do? There's a flag. There's penalties. What do we do? Well, they changed the penalty from false start, which is huge, to legal shift. Now, legal shift, the play continues, and whatever happens, happens. All right. But on a false start, the play's whistled dead. The play never happened. So the one linesman, the side judge who threw the flag for false start, play should have been over, but it didn't. They let the play continue. Chiefs get the ball on the fumble, and game's over. Now, why is that controversial? Because, like I just stated, the initial penalty was false start, which should have stopped the play right there. Raiders move back 5 yards. They still have the ball. Now it's 2nd down and 15 or whatever. they still have a chance to kick that game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, we all see it. And the sad thing is the NFL's got us, like a drug, man. I mean, like you sometimes you sit there and say, you know what, I'm done watching the NFL. I'm done with football. I'm done with this, done with that. And what do? You flip back on and you see what games are coming on, son.
Then we got to talk about this other topic. It's a huge topic, all right? Quarterbacks, when they leave the pocket, they're running down the field. They're no longer protected quarterbacks anymore, right? So we just had the incident down in Jacksonville where Trevor Lawrence.
I remember you said that.
Trevor Lawrence was out of the pocket, run down field. The oh shit moment. He sees Al-Shaair, the linebacker from the Texans, coming at him. He slides. He gets pummeled, gets knocked out. And then a fight ensues afterwards. Now, this happened on several occasions in past history. One of the notable ones, the other one was Miami against the Ravens, where Flacco was knocked into the next year. His helmet came off and everything like that. And that was a huge scrum after that, too. I mean, so what the topic is. So I wanted to talk about this, Sanders. I want to talk to folks at home. I want your comments about this, that the head coach of the Texans is defending his player. The GM for the Texans is defending his player. And what is an illegal hit, Sanders? I mean, let's look at it both sides, okay? They're saying he slid late, and there's no way for the defender to stop because he's going full speed, quarterback's going full speed. He decides at the last second to slide because he doesn't want to get hit. He gets hit. So where do we go from here, Sanders?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's a sticky situation, but I do believe that there are guys that they know they have enough time to pull up, and
Okay.
I mean, and maybe he didn't, maybe he did. It appeared that from us looking from the outside that he had enough time to do it.
There we go.
There we go.
We're back.
That was weird.
It's very weird.
Sorry about that, guys. It's just like our
Just
sound
shut
just
up.
dropped right out.
But you get to see us, though.
Yeah. but like I said, these guys have a lot. They have a lot to do. They're active. These are guys that can get physical. These are guys that can jump at the last minute. These are guys just like what's his name for the Philadelphia Eagles? He leaped over a damn guy backwards.
Oh yeah, Saquon.
So the reaction time to me is there. The
Right.
reaction time is there for these guys to pull up, and that what he did to that guy right there. That was not good.
It looked ugly. I mean, his forearm. I mean, okay, you can't stop. So what do? Okay, I'm just going to hit him in the head with my forearm and my shoulder, and I'm here. Might as well, knock him out or whatever. And I can understand the game is fast paced.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it's bang bang plays. Okay, bing bong bang 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 plays. Right. So I understand from the defensive perspective that, hey, I'm full board. I'm running in. I'm trying to get this quarterback, and he decides to slide. But I mean, you have to think about where are you hitting him when he's sliding, right? I mean, if you can go, you dive over him, you could dive. If you run into him, just something, But when you put that extra oomph into it, it doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, I mean, that's a hot topic that needs to be discussed. And in either way, it all depends on what side of the coin you're looking at, right? Defensively, man, we can't tell. I mean, we're going full board. And then on the other side of the coin, quarterback's like, I'm giving myself up. It's almost like taking a knee. You know what I mean? If you took a knee,
Mhm.
and it's happened before in the past, game's over, you're taking a knee to run out of clock, and some defenses just blast through that line and hit the quarterback. I mean, we've seen it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, several games, but it's just at what point do we not protect the quarterback anymore? And you know what? I'll tell you right now, he's been suspended 3 games. He's probably going to appeal it. But if you just imagine, Sanders, if that quarterback, I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been in the league for a little while. I mean, he came up from, I don't know, I think Clemson, I could be wrong. Top-notch quarterback, great in college. I mean, but if that was Mahomes,
yeah.
I guarantee you, And just like the Brady clause, Shahir would be in prison right now. He'd be in prison breaking big rocks into little rocks right now, making license plates or whatever they do in prison. I don't know. Never been there. I hear it's tough. Food might be bad too. But I mean, it's just certain players, right? He got suspended 3 games, and it's not because Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence. He got suspended 3 games because of his past history. This is the first time he's done this, hitting people out of bounds, on the sidelines. I mean, he's got a reputation. Even if he didn't intend to do what he did, he still has a reputation, and that speaks volumes in the NFL. Well, we got to stop it. We got to do something. So, folks, really quick, 585-210-3917. Give us a call, your thoughts on those topics. I mean, what do you think we should do with Pickens? I mean, should he be benched? Or, I mean, what do you want to do with that? I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that, we're talking about. What do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do next week against the Browns? I mean, are we going to see a repeat of no offense, some defense? I mean, are we going to have no offensive line, let Myles Garrett go back there and have lunch with Russell Wilson? I don't know what's going on. But let's talk about a score. Santa, did we talk about a score yet?
No, give me a score. Give me a score in the game.
You know what? I think the Steelers are going to score a few points. I really think it's going to be – I think the Steelers are going to get at least 31 points, 31-17 Pittsburgh. Or, you know what? I'm going to say 34-17 Pittsburgh.
34-17.
34-17 Pittsburgh. We're at home. The weather might not be that crazy. We just played them. I mean, the Browns came up with some new stuff that we might, be able to narrow down and figure out.
Right.
Try just something different. Or just continue to take that offense of scheme that we had against the Bengals. I mean, not too different, other than the fact that they have actual defensive players who play tough. And, I mean, we just have to look out for Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver, came from the Broncos. He had 237 yards receiving last night, sitting on my bench in fantasy. What the hell is that? I had Najee on my bench, 36 points. What the hell's up with that?
But I will say this. I think we kind of did a good job against them. Granted, it was snowing out there. It was slick. And, they still kind of held them down. But it is what it is. Steelers right now, it's a new ball game, and I think they will, and I think they can control these guys. Oh, here we go. That's what I was trying to get to. All right, let's see if I got them on here. Hopefully, there we go. All right, welcome to Steeler Nation Live. Who do we got on the line?
EMC Reggie Fresh from the EMC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
That's it, baby. Hey, sorry about that, brother. We've been having the internet's been messing up tonight. It's
the weather. Let's blame it on the weather.
Yeah, let's blame it on the weather.
Yeah, we're up
good.
Western New York. All the snow we got. Buffalo. We didn't get any snow, but hey, we're right by Buffalo.
Reg, now let me ask you this. Now you seen the game?
Yes, sir.
You seen the Pittsburgh Steelers, going into Cincy. Russell having a big day. What is your thoughts on Russell Wilson and his performance in Cincinnati?
Russell Wilson is the right fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially at this time, because he's a smart quarterback. He knows how to read defenses. He knows how to throw the ball with a touch, knows how to throw the ball up and away from the defenders right on point.
But before I forget, game-winning touchdown, and he's got one catch for the 4 games with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now we got guys like Skronik coming off the practice squad. He's throwing it to our third string tight end, and Mike Williams is supposed to be that guy, that bookend for Pickens, and we're not utilizing him. Now we gave up a 5th round pick, and he hits free agency at the end of the year. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Should he be implemented more in the offense, or did we just waste a 5th round pick on him?
Well, here's what a lot of people don't really understand and really know. He's a decoy for real when they put him out there, just a distraction. But he ain't fully 100%, and he fully don't know the plays yet. But when it comes down to the next 2 games, well, I'm going to say the second to the last 2 games, the last 2 games of the season, they're going to utilize him more. He's going to be a factor in the playoffs.
I really hope so. I do. I mean, yeah. I'm not trying to be funny, but I was looking at I was looking at that today, and I was just like, wow. I mean, he has all the potential. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hurt though. He ain't 100%.
Well, he needs to get 100%.
We're going to need him.
He definitely do. He definitely do. But look, check this out, fellas.
Okay.
The Pittsburgh Steelers is setting good right now. I like the way we're going. I feel like that we can win out. You know, I think we can sweep the Ravens. We're going to win Christmas. We definitely going to beat the Bengals, the Eagles, and the Browns. So I think that the Lions is going to beat the Bills, so that's going to set them tied with us, right?
Yep.
So I think, you know, the Eagles might give us the only thing I see the Eagles really that might give us a little problem. But, hey, we in Philadelphia, brothers we love. So it's going to be a lot of Steelers fans at home away from home again, and I think we can get the Eagles.
Now, it's going to be tough. I mean, you know, for the Eagles, there's a couple things we have to do. We have to obviously shut down Saquon. We played the Giants in the past history. We've done a great job with shutting them down, but that's the Giants. And we also have to also, you know, the mobility of Hurts, Jalen Hurts. He's got a great arm. He's got great legs. He's fast. He's hard to get down. And that being said, he's got wide receivers to throw to, right? He's got a great tight end, Goddard. I mean, they have a lot of weapons. But if we shut them down early, we got to score early and we got to score often.
Exactly. But check this out. See, he ain't as good as Lamar, but
I was going to say that.
Weapons than Lamar.
We just played him.
But if we can shut down, if we can contain Lamar, we can contain him.
Oh, for sure.
He's got more weapons. You know what I'm saying? But listen to this though. I want to address this too. I want to address George Pickens. George Pickens is an excellent receiver. I think he's the number one receiver, especially for us. But he needs to get an attitude check. As a coach, I'm gonna grab you by your shoulder, pull you by your ear, and say, "Look, you just cost us 30 yards, and that could have cost us the game against the Bengals, even though we was playing good. But that put us back. Made Boswell miss a field goal. We could have even scored.
Yep.
When you get a first down and you do, take your ass on to the huddle.
Right.
That's what I need you to do.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem, Reg. And we talked about this. I don't know if you caught this early on the show.
Go ahead.
This is not an NFL problem. This is not a Steelers problem. Okay, this is a George Pickens problem. He's been the same player all through probably high school. You've seen his record in Georgia. I mean, it's nothing new. But the Pittsburgh Steelers knew what they were getting.
Yeah, I think we cut off from Reg, though, but I think he's trying to call back, so we're just going to let him know. Hey, like we said, Reg, because this whole thing is done by Wi-Fi, and my Wi-Fi has been messing up. Yep, there it goes again. Yeah. Hey, Reg, man, we have to get back with you next week, but, you know, definitely, this guy, you got to make sure you check him out. This guy, MC Reg Fresh, man, like I said, he's done Instill a Nation. He's got his own show up there. Make sure you check there. This is him last week.
This is what we do after the game.
There you go. Check him out. He's out there checking out the
Come on, defense.
This guy always representing.
Lamar can't hear it. Got him. Look at it. Told you, baby.
Love it.
There's a whole lot of watts on the field. They getting electrocuted out there, y'all.
There we go.
That's what we do after the game.
Hey, you know what? And that's what it's all about, man. This guy's a phenomenal. Make sure you check him out there. He's on Facebook. He's on YouTube as well. Check him out. Hey, I apologize. Hey, Daniel Nazaro, sorry. Hey, brother. Like I said, tonight's been a heck of a night, brother. We've been having problems with internet. You name it, brother.
Wi-Fi. Way to go,
Wi-Fi,
Spectrum.
you name it. That's what I'm saying.
Wrecked them.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, but like we said, guys, another show in the books here on Stellar Nation Live. Oh, that boy's good.
That boy good.
So, guys, I want to make sure, James, give me a score for the Steelers versus the Browns.
34-17 Steelers.
34-17 Steelers. I'm going to say the Steelers are going to do it like a 30-20 type score. Please, whatever you do, Pittsburgh, do not start playing prevent defense at any point in the game when you're up by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Do not. The same defense you play when you got a lead, use it to close the game out, James.
Yeah. Choke them.
So, do we see you guys on Tuesday from Sanders Tisdale?
James Owen.
Another show in the books. Reggie says 30-17. We got you, brother. Still a Nation Live.